Okay.
Oh shit! Oh. Oh my god! Oh my goodness! So much has happened this week in wrestling. There's been pay-per-views, shows, and lots of other things. Plenty of bad reviews, ratings, and hot takes. We'll break it all down with Zeus, Dro, and James. 'Cause it's Saturday and time for Markout Mania. Zeus has live reports from AML's recent show. We've got so much stuff to discuss because it's time for Markout Mania.
Woo!
Nice. That was nice, Pedro. Good job. Very
Hey,
good. Good
man.
job.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hola, everyone, and welcome to the Markout Mania.
Ooh, what's up?
Yeah.
You obviously got your voice back. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. We'll see. I can't believe I didn't mess up because we were laughing at the beginning. But
that was some funny shit.
You recovered very well.
yes.
You
Yeah.
laugh more often.
Yeah. Get it out of the way. The show starts and it's just us laughing. They're like, "What's going on?" And then
I know. If people have no clue, like we've been saying stupid shit about a half an hour before this.
So we gotta get all for the glory. We gotta get outlandish.
Yes.
We gotta
outlandish.
Yeah. Gotta get Gargano, Moxley.
Yeah. And don't touch my fanny pack.
C-Dub in the house, the new AML heavyweight champion.
That must have been an awesome show to go to, Zeus.
Oh man, I'm telling you, dude. It was about as old school as you could get.
Oh.
Because we had the security measures of the Sportatorium.
Oh no!
Actually,
really?
We didn't even have that.
Like a
we
string?
didn't even have the string. They didn't even have string around the ring. I was right there, and there was nothing but aired opportunity between me and the ring.
That's hot. Good job, brother. Good job. Nice.
So, it was a packed house in Moxville. Moxville is a smaller town in outside of Winston-Salem. It's about 5,000 people there, and so we increased the population of the entire city by about 10% in that nice gymnasium. And man, I tell you, got in there and went and scouted out my seat, and then went and spoke to the franchise, Shane Douglas.
Oh, nice.
And no, I didn't talk any shit for you.
Okay.
James. But because I wanted to tell him, and what I said to him was, after he won the NWA World Title, and then threw it down and cut that promo, I said, that's one of the most important moments in pro wrestling history, and I was like, you should always be remembered for that, because it changed everything.
It did. It did, actually. Yeah, you're right. It did.
And he really appreciated that. And he was like, he said, we didn't know it was going to work. We didn't know how it was going to go over or anything, but he was like, thankfully it did. And, I said, hey, everything, else was going so cartoony, and, the ECW thing, pulled everything the other direction. So, I mean, it was a really cool thing. And so, it was nice to see him, shake his hand, and
That was cool. That was cool. Good job, Zeus.
yeah. And so he, later on he was involved in the main event, but we had some good matches. Jason Kincaid, they call him the Gift. He won the opening match against Chip Day and another guy in a triangle match, and that was fun. Then poor JB Cole, I'm telling you, that kid is all heart, and they put him in the ring with this dude named it was like Cyrus the Devastator or something like that.
Oh my god!
And
Okay.
this dude's got to be like 6'4", 6'5", about 5,000 pounds. Okay, he was big, like he was big, like he was like Mabel's little brother big.
Oh, brutal!
Oh my god!
And he could move too.
Mm.
And he JB Cole gave it everything he had, man. Just everything you could hope for from a smaller guy, and even bloodied his nose of Cyrus, but Cyrus is just too big and too mean, and he eventually caught JB Cole and got the win. So we were all glad to see that JB Cole was not dead after that, because that was a whole lot of man that fell on him.
No, man.
There was a guy named Brad Attitude, used to be in the old Florida place before it went NXT.
FCW?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was there, and he snuck out a win. And we had the tag team match was the Gym Nasty Boys, White Mike and Timmy Lou Retton, defending the AML titles. Supposed to be against the Industry, and the Industry is two guys named Mick Drake and Devin Driscoll. And what happened, apparently, somebody had attacked Devin Driscoll in the locker room. So he was unable to wrestle with Mick Drake, and they got him, one of the younger guys. This kid is one half of the tag team known as LeBron James. And yeah, because they made him tag with Mick Drake, and Mick Drake wasn't happy about it. And so just as they're getting ready to ring the bell, the Dawsons come out.
Oh,
What?
nice.
And they have, listen to this, Dave Dawson has the AML Wrestling general manager Brian Hawks in a headlock, almost like a rear naked choke, and he's dragging him out there, and Zayn is on the mic saying, if they don't get into this tag team title match, that they're gonna just break his neck.
Oh my god!
And so the owner, Tracy Myers, comes out, and he's trying to defuse the situation, and Dawsons are having none of it. And so Tracy's like, he's like, I'm sorry, this is my employee, I can't have this happen. So he let him in, and they threw him down. He was roughed up. He was legitimately beat up. And so then it became a triangle match, where you could tag in anybody. And it looked rough. I mean, the Gym Nasty Boys just really took a beating. And I mean, every time they started to get a little momentum, they kept getting, either beat down or switched up or something. but they were able to pull it out at the end and gave it everything they had and got the win and retained the titles.
The place pop for the Dawsons?
Well, I mean, everybody hates them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but they got a huge reaction for sure.
Yeah, I would have popped. I
mean, when you're out there like that, and you're basically holding somebody hostage.
Yeah.
It's not like it was not a welcome home type of
gotcha.
pop or anything like that for the Dawsons. It was a lot of booze. I mean, I heard some people saying that they did like the Dawsons, but you're in the AML. Wrestling show, so you're not making any friends by hurting legitimately some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet in the wrestling industry. So So
Y2H2, what's up?
What's up, double Y double H? And so they did their thing, and they the victorious Gymnasty boys, had fun and danced their way back to the locker room, still the tag team champions. Then in the main event, we had the AML heavyweight champion George South against the challenger C.W. Anderson in an I Quit match, unsanctioned. Unsanctioned I Quit match. Shane Douglas, the special referee. And let me tell you something. This guy is so professional. Okay. He comes to the ring. They played his old, his ECW music.
Nice.
And he came in the ring. First thing he does, he gets in the ring. He starts checking the ropes and the turnbuckles, and he's looking out for the guys. And I thought that was a great great thing. I see regular referees that don't do that.
Yeah.
And so it was a brawl. It was, George came to the ring. There was a trash can full of stuff and kendo sticks. And let me tell you something. These kendo sticks were not the ones that were already like, they're the nice, like the nice Sandman ones that are slotted. And I mean, and granted, those slots, those slots, they pinch together and cut and make you bleed. But like these were like pieces of bamboo.
Oh man.
And I mean, they were wailing on each other. They had barbed wire. They were busting each other open. And like they're using barbed wire as a weapon and like whipping each other with it and
nice.
wrapping it around their around their fists and hitting each other with it. And like at one point, George is bleeding from the shoulder and the head, and he cut himself in the belly with the barbed wire. And it was crazy. And they were fighting outside the ring right in front of me. And George tried to powder C.W. Anderson in the eye, but he got the referee, the outside referee, instead because C.W. ducked. And then George wrapped the barbed wire around his glove, and started, tried to get the Mulligan Iron Claw on C.W. Anderson, but C.W. powered out of it and then put George. He made him give himself a barbed wire claw.
Oh,
like he had like CW had him trapped to where he couldn't, not. I mean, even though it was, he wasn't gripping it hard. He was still forcing that handful of barbed wire into George's head, and then that's when George finally said, he gave up, and that was the match, and it was over. And it was really, it was just a huge feel good moment. The people went nuts. I went nuts. It was another just fantastic night of wrestling, and it was just
How can you go wrong with George South and C.W. Anderson in an I Quit match with Shane Douglas as a special guest referee? I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
No, it was just
I want to see this match.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of hyped up now.
They do have their own video service that's only like I think it's $8 a month.
Oh, cool.
So you could probably try it for a month and watch that and some other stuff.
Because I'm kind of marking out right now. I want to because that must have been awesome in the first row. And you got world-class security status. That's hot.
Yeah, nothing. No ring barrier. No, you just sitting there, and they bled all over the floor in front of us too. They were they were coming around. They were mopping up everything afterwards, and the staff there was making sure people didn't slip and slide in the blood and bust their ass on a hard wooden gym floor.
I slipped on C.W. Anderson's blood. Here, please sign my pant leg.
Oh my god!
Well, it's hard to beat that bloody chair that Balls Mahoney gave that kid in Concord.
Oh wow, that's hot. Yeah, that's hot. Sounds like it was a good show, Zeus.
Yeah. Oh man, it really was. I mean, it was just they had to add another row of chairs. They had to add some. Some standing room only tickets, at the end there because it was just people just kept coming.
That's good stuff. You know what? That's good for them. That's good for them because I'm actually happy to hear that. I hope AML is a continued success because it sounds like they're good stuff. Good people.
We all need to move over where Zeus is
I got to go to one of
the
these
AML shows to get the ice cream and the churros.
So privately, I'm still pissed off about Rescue. So I'm gonna make my way up to to AML show one day. Pedro, you got to come too, so we can do a whole thing.
Yeah, we'll work that out someday.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But hey, real quickly, just want to say. Congratulations to YYH and the Angelico team on 3 years. Happy
3 years.
I think they do a good job. They, that whole thing, helping, promote Angelico and the Hybrid 2 and all that, because they're legitimately a lot better than they get portrayed to be in AEW. Those guys were 2-time AAA tag team champions in Mexico, and they've been through some crazy and violent bloodbaths, and they've taken on some of the best in the world.
Yep, and AEW makes them look like Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
Sadly.
AEW makes everything bad. I mean,
yeah, but good job, Double Y, Double H, man. Good job. Absolutely, man. Keep up the good work.
Is this a segue to discuss the AEW junk?
The AEW root beer junk?
Man, go for it, guys.
Let's discuss AEW root beer.
Because I saw some shit online this week. I was like, really?
Oh, well, really? James, I think you'll want to get in on some of this discussion because let's talk about the pay-per-view super fast. I don't know if we want to talk about every what's it called?
No,
every match. But let me say overall, I thought it was, with the exception of one match, I thought it was overall a very bad show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was just there to me. Dustin, Jake, Cody, MJF, Moxley, Jericho. They're just kind of like WWE TV kind of boring matches to me. They didn't stand out that much. Then there was, I'm sure we'll talk about the Pac Orange Cassidy thing. That and to me the Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin thing were like offensively, like bad. They offended me almost, but
Pedro's offended. Damn it.
Nyla Rose Statlander was a terrible match, but I don't blame them because I blame AEW for putting these two people who were not ready for this kind of title match on pay-per-view. They're not ready for that spot, and you throw them out there to make fools of themselves. That's it's not their fault. I blame AEW for putting them there.
Props to Nyla for getting herself turned over in that superplex.
Oh God, yeah.
Because if she hadn't have gotten turned over, she could have gotten just jammed straight down on her spine. And I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't know how anything goes. I'm not going to pretend that I know anything.
Right.
But like I said, the way it appeared to me was that that they're doing things that they're told instead of how they would normally do it, because I think that that Nyla should be kind of let go to be that beat 'em up stomping beast.
Yeah.
And it was almost kind of like, it's like, okay, I do this and then I antagonize the crowd and then I stomp a couple times, and then it just seems like if you would just let some of these people do what they do, what comes a little bit more naturally to them, I think that we would be seeing some better things in overall.
Well, I will say that no one has made Nyla has not looked good in the ring except for when they were against little Japanese opponents.
Do you think AEW is going the WWE route and being overproduced?
I mean, that's just the way it looks to me. I just feel like that they were trying to do a lot of things and trying to execute them well, but I don't think that was. It felt like it was kind of overproduced.
Okay, how long have I been telling y'all that the shows feel very formula?
Oh, you've been saying
that. Yeah, it was since the beginning. Yeah.
Well, not since the beginning, but I mean, since at least December or sometime in November or somewhere.
Ever since the TV shows really started kicking in. Yeah, you've been saying it.
The matches all have kind of a formula to it, and like this year especially, they've fallen into a lot of formulas. They've been becoming more and more WWE-ish like this year. I don't know if the change is really because Tony Khan has become the head booker, like the one guy, and this is just how that sort of stuff goes. I don't know. But Nyla did good to save themselves in that superplex spot. But the problem I have with Nyla is they show no athleticism.
Well, like I said, how can you show athleticism if you're stuck in a list?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but have you seen Nyla struggle to get Riho up for a powerbomb?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Riho is like, as
Jim
Ross
and Riho
likes
got
to
to be
tell
on
us,
the same page too. I mean,
Riho's 98 pounds.
Yeah, but they got to be on the same page. If she's not ready to take it, she's got, they need better communication.
Yeah, that finish spot was could have been bad, but they salvaged it.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them.
Right.
I blame AEW for them being in that spot. They shouldn't be in that spot. But let's talk about the big controversy coming out of this. Oddly enough, is, in my opinion, the one good match of the show was Omega and Page versus the Young Bucks for the tag team titles.
Right.
I thought it was not a great match. It was not a great match, but I thought it was a good match. they found a way to make the Young Bucks formula of just get all their shit in work because they made them like entitled pricks. Like that was part of the story of the match. Was they're kind of entitled. They felt entitled to the tag team titles, and they didn't really respect Hangman Page. And Hangman Page is like, trying to shove it up their ass, basically. And I thought it worked out pretty well. I thought it was a good match. But what's been the big controversy about this match, Zeus?
That people are saying, well, first of all, the Meltzer comes out and says it's a 6-star match.
Yeah. What the fuck is he smoking?
And that it's the what did he say? The greatest
tag team match on U.S. soil. Yes.
Oh my God.
The best tag team match ever on U.S. soil. And he said, "Have y'all ever seen the March 2003 match between Kobashi and Misawa and Noah, where Kobashi finally beat Misawa for a title?"
No.
Okay, it's a very famous match because Kobashi never beat Misawa in a title match in All Japan, and so in Noah he finally beats him in a title match. And he was saying, because it was like the 17th anniversary of that match, he said that this was better than that match even. And he said it was better than anything on Wrestle Kingdom as well.
What is do people watch AEW and just like forget that everything else just happened? Like there was never any other wrestling promotion before AEW. Has like all their common sense just gone right out the window?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
It does. A 6-star match? No.
Look, there's no such thing as a 6-star match. Let's get that out of the way. I talk about this in the beginning of my 1992 thing every time I do an episode.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as, it's either you hit 5 stars, which is the best, or it's not going to go higher. There's no such thing. Okay. Let's get this out of people's head. There's no such thing as beyond 5 stars.
Yeah, because at the rate he's going, it's going to be 10 stars here in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you hit 10 stars, where do you go? 20?
Right. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, because the thing is, and from what I understand is when they started doing it, if 4-star was the max.
Yeah. It was the top, right? Yeah.
And then they started going, 5, and then 5 had been going the longest.
Yeah.
And then that was the standard, and then Omega Okada happened, and then that became the 6, and then the 7, and
what just wasn't the original thing like 4 stars was just like you made the crowd, like you blew the roof off the place. Like it wasn't even really like this is a best thing of all time. It was just like you were the best thing on the show. You blew the roof off the house, etc. And then like a dud was like, oh, you're the shits. People wanted you to go away on that night.
I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest, but I mean, because after the 6 and the 7 came out, he said that a 5 is a match of the year, a 6 is a match of the decade, and a 7 is a match of a lifetime.
Wow.
And and I'm just like going, well, once again. But anyway, really, I considered it was above average. And just like you said, the Bucks they didn't have to do 8 million little sloppy, sassy little fucking super kicks in it. I mean, they didn't have to look like 2 little princesses, kicking their fucking preschooler friends. And so, it was a good match, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I've seen 100 better tag team matches than that. And I mean, I'm glad that they loved it, and I'm glad they're drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm glad they're getting almost 1 million viewers on Wednesday night. But just because you want it to be the greatest thing in the world, and just because you think that if you keep telling people that they're going to believe it, and just because other people are saying it, it don't make it true.
Yes.
I'm like, and just like we talked about, before, that tag team match, Dennis Condor and Bobby Eaton against the Fantastics from Houston with no commentary from one camera, was better than that match. They didn't need shit extra. They had that presence. They knew how to work the ring, the crowd, and each other.
Yeah, but Zeus, you're talking about guys in the ring who know how to actually work.
These other guys know how to work. They just they're in this.
The Bucks
new
don't
style.
know how to work, man. The Bucks work. The Bucks are all about getting in their spots in that.
You can't tell people. You can't say they don't know how to work. They know how to work. They refuse how to work the way that they want to, because they're all sitting around, and they're all, they're all proud of each other, and they're all glad they made it. And like I said, they're under the impression that they're all the greatest things in the world. And just because you sold a shitload of T-shirts doesn't make you great. And that's why I see, when you see like somebody like Marty Scurll, and Marty has taken the hard road. He didn't go to see and hang out with his friends in AEW when the time came. He's taken on a lot of responsibility and a lot of extra work, more than just being a wrestler. And just like that match last year in Concord, that was a hell of a damn match. And and that really cemented the Crockett Cup as a really good pay-per-view. And you can't say people don't know how to work, because he knows how to work, and he's from the same generation as most of those guys, and he's friends with most of those guys. So what it is, it's that it's just an attitude of people thinking that what they're doing is the best shit they've ever done, and they can't get any better.
Well, okay, but Zeus, that to me is not knowing how to work. It's because if you know how to work the right way, you wouldn't think like that. You wouldn't have an attitude like that. You would tell the story in the ring and not worry about, I got to get all my spots in and barely sell shit. You can't think like that.
Let me throw something out there. Okay. It's less a thing of the Bucks know how to work or don't know how to work, as more they have settled into a pattern of they have this formula. Okay, for whatever reasons they have settled on this, they have this formula, which is we get all our shit in, and when we're taking offense, we're just waiting for our chance to get our shit in. And there's, tiny, like almost non-existent selling. That's their deal. What I was saying about this match was they built the match around where that is fine. The story of the match was so where, like, okay, the Bucks can do their style match, and it will still work within the frame of the story that they came up with in this match. My other thing here, I feel the AEW fans do the show that they love so much a disservice, because this was, I thought, a good match, which is to me very rare in AEW that there is such a thing as a good match. And now we are comparing it to the best matches of all time because everyone has said this is the best thing ever. This is better than any U.S. tag team match, ever. And now we have to compare it to the things, and now it goes from just being what it was to being like, a piece of garbage.
That's a good point, Pedro. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. Excellent point. But,
yeah, you can't lift something up and put it. You can't take a great cheeseburger, even though it's a really great cheeseburger, but you can't take a great cheeseburger and put it on the all-time block of steaks.
Right. There you go.
See, because what we had a great cheeseburger.
Yes. Yeah.
It was good. It was great for 2020.
It was fast food. It was good fast food. It wasn't even like a gourmet cheeseburger, right? It was a good fast food cheeseburger.
Right? But you can't put it on the all-time greats with a nice New York strip.
Yeah.
Okay?
Filet
Medium rare New York strip.
There you go.
Some grilled asparagus and some some roasted cauliflower and some mashed potatoes or a baked potato with everything in it. I mean, it's like there ain't a cheeseburger that can go up against that.
I'm ready for
Markout
Mania dinner. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm probably gonna do Markout Mania, the steak edition.
Hey,
I'm like, are someone grilling these or?
Yeah,
right.
Fuck, come on, let's do it.
Don't forget, with a cheeseburger, you're gonna have a nice A&W root beer.
There you go.
But with that steak, you might have one of James's favorites, a Stella Artois, or you might have a nice glass of Pinot Noir, or something like that, which is really it's far greater than a soda.
Oh, the accoutrement.
Oh my God.
Which is kind of like whichever Jackson's vanishing hairline.
Who's that? I didn't hear this. Who's vanishing hairline?
One of the Bucks is.
Okay.
He's gonna look like Hawk of the Road Warriors here soon.
Holy shit! That's funny. Good job, Zeus. That was good. I like
that was awesome. Let's touch on two other things real quick from that pay-per-view. Well, maybe three other things. Hold on. But Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara. My issues with that match. Yes, there was a lot of excitement. Stuff was happening very quickly. The pace was very fast. But they were doing just stupid shit. I mean, just like Darby Allin went for a tope. And this is not – first, okay, he sets Sammy Guevara – he drapes him over the guard railing. Where your waist is over the guard railing and your butt's facing the crowd and your back's facing the ring. So then Darby gets in, he runs the ropes, and he goes for a suicide dive. And I don't know if his foot clipped the ropes or something, but he's coming up short. And you know how the injury that ultimately killed AAA La Parca recently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was he went that same trajectory. He went and his head hit the lower bottom part of the guardrail and totally missing Sammy. And so it was a scary looking thing. Now that's just an accident, I know, but it's just a scary looking moment. And they follow this by putting him on a table, and Sammy does like a 630 senton, putting him through the table. And then so we just seen a scary accident, and then an insane spot. I mean, just a crazy athletic spot. And then Darby doesn't sell any of this shit. He just they're back in the ring, and he's just back to doing what he does, which is just constant motion, constant movement, and just not. I'm just like, how do you not sell the 630 thing, putting you through a table?
It goes back to what both you and Zeus were saying, Pedro. It's the way people are working now. Everybody wants to get their shit in, and they barely sell, and then that's it.
Well, if that was the last of the crazy stuff, okay, but then we have a deal where Darby's on the ring apron and Sammy jumps off to do a double foot stomp, and their legs get caught in the ropes. It's all messy and ugly, and they're lucky not to break anything, and they just again just keep going like nothing has happened. And Darby just doesn't sell anything in this whole match. It's just him just doing stupid shit and not selling stuff. And Sammy is sort of selling stuff, but then he's also taking part in said stupid shit. And I don't know, it just really bugged me. The match really bothered me. It seemed like so needlessly reckless for these people to do the things they were doing to themselves. And they're both like super young and they're super athletic. I don't know. It just seems unnecessary.
Yeah. Hard to argue that.
And then there's Pac versus Orange Cat.
Oh.
This is the match that pissed me off the most that entire show.
Why is that, Pedro? Why is that? Tell us.
Because, okay, Pac, we just saw him before this show. We just saw him have that Iron Man match with Kenny Omega, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he outshined Kenny Omega the entire match. And when the time limit was expiring, Kenny Omega was a defeated man, right, Zeus? Because you saw that.
Yeah.
He's a defeated man. He can't escape. He tried to escape a few times. He can't escape from the brutalizer. He's got nowhere to go. If the time limit doesn't expire, either he's going to pass out or he's going to be forced to tap out. But the time limit runs out, et cetera, then they do that sudden death restart, and, and Pac ends up losing because he gets jumped.
And it's the exact same thing they did with Brett and Shawn.
Yeah.
At the end of the first Iron Man, it was a tie.
WrestleMania 12, yeah.
And then they restarted the match, and then they didn't let Brett put Shawn back into the sharpshooter.
Right.
To start the match, which is exactly what they should have done.
But my point here is that Pac is just end up, he just looked like a super strong guy who's right up there with the people that they keep pushing is the very best in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing he has to do is he has to fight this comedy guy, Orange Cassidy. And so the way this thing plays out is Orange Cassidy is most of the match, he's just playing. Like everything's playing. He's got his hands in his pockets like usual. He does his little foot tap thing where he's not actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so then like Pac's getting pissed off and he's, trying to hit him with stuff. And then like there's a thing where like Orange Cassidy kept rolling around in the ring like he got hit with something and he rolls to the ropes. Pac goes over to that side of the ring and Orange Cassidy rolls to the other side of the ring. Pac goes to that side. He rolls to the other side, back and forth. And then like he kind of removes his hands from his face and you see like Orange Cassidy's all laughing. He's got like a big smile, like he's all laughing. And then suddenly he's serious. Okay, suddenly he's serious, and he's running roughshod all over Pac. Pac is now like he can't defend himself basically against this dude who's just been playing around, who's just been having a ha-ha playing around, and now Pac, who was outshining Kenny Omega and had Omega defeated, is like he can't beat Orange fucking Cassidy. And then when he's on the verge of being beaten, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon, and Phoenix have to come out, and they have to distract the best friends and Orange Cassidy so Pac can get Orange Cassidy in the brutalizer and make him tap out.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, you may as well have, Marco Stunt go, 15, 30 minutes with damn Jericho. Of course, I probably shouldn't say that too loud.
It'll probably happen.
Please, yeah, it'll probably happen.
And did you see how they followed this up on Dynamite? Pac has now gone from the Omega match to now he can only beat Orange Cassidy via distraction to having a match against Chuck from the Best Friends. And Chuck is dominating the majority of the match, just kicking his ass. And again, he needs distraction to help him win. So now Pac sucks.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
in
I got you,
kayfabe,
yeah.
like in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Now he's
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but then you know, and that's the thing though is when he cuts his promos, you know, he says a lot of truths in his in his promos. You know, he cuts through the bullshit that they've you know forgotten or sloppily written. You know, he cuts through that shit.
Yeah. His promos have gotten really good in AEW. I will say that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing for him when he was in the WWE, but he has gotten good with the promos.
Orange Cassidy, Jesus
one
Christ.
last thing, Moxley. He won the title. He had a speech post-match on the pay-per-view, and then he had another promo on Dynamite this week, both with the same thing. And I have to say I'm getting a little annoyed with John Moxley and this thing about he keeps doing this thing about, you know, we brought pro wrestling back. We're saving pro wrestling. We're bringing it back. I get the marketing idea of it, but I just find it annoying.
And that feels very AEW pushed because we're seeing a lot of things that you know that Khan is kind of putting his foot down about, like saying that, they're, the AEW wrestlers, you can't bring another belt from another promotion, to the ring with you. You can't, do this, and then, just.
I think that's a mistake, actually.
And well, it's everybody wants to be petty about everything. So
yeah, because I think that draws more eyes to your program. I'm like, ooh, what? It's the New Japan Pro Champions. Like he's actually going to show up on AEW TV with the strap. I want to see that. I mean, because I think that would bring more eyes to your product. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Any thoughts on Jake the Snake appearing on AEW?
I didn't see it, but I heard like he could barely talk. Is that true?
Yeah, his voice is a little rough, but his promo was mostly pretty good, I thought.
Okay.
The finish was excellent.
How do you go wrong with the idea of having Jake the Snake Roberts is good because historically, once he's there performing, he's doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
When he's functioning, I should say.
Yeah. Because
we all know he's got problems. And but once he gets going, he's really brings that deviousness and that that almost scary type of promos and things, where you don't trust him, you don't know what's going to happen. So in theory, he's a smart idea, but in actuality, maybe not so much.
No.
Who do you think is?
Hopefully it works out.
Who do you think his client is going to be? Is he going to be Lance Archer or is he going to be Brody Lee?
I don't know. I think Brody Lee needs a promo guy manager more than Lance Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Lance Archer really, he's going to be really over with that crowd. I think he should be a face. They don't have enough of them.
Speaking of Lance Archer, last week they led everyone to believe he's going to debut this week on Dynamite. And then AEW had a tweet saying he was going to be on Dynamite. And then he himself had a tweet saying he was going to be on Dynamite. And then he was not on Dynamite.
Good job, AEW.
Yeah.
And people said, oh, it's not a bait and switch. It just plans change. And if the people were pointing out if the WWE had done this, people would be pissed off and hold it over them. And they said that's different. So why is it different if the WWE does a bait and switch, which they do often, versus now what this is the third or fourth bait and switch or whatever that AEW has done?
I don't think it is different. I think people view it differently, you know. But to me, I mean, this goes back to as far as I can remember. All companies been doing bait and switches ever since the beginning of wrestling. So this is nothing new. I mean, it's really nothing new. It's just now it's heightened now because of social media and because of all the fan access and because of internet access, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, there is a double standard every time it comes to WWE. Every time WWE does something, you know, it's the end all be all, you know? It's a double standard. It's a bit of a double standard. But this is nothing new, remember. It's just the access of information has changed. But it's nothing new.
You know what deserves criticism, though, on the WWE side? That opening the SmackDown last night.
I missed
that shit was horrible.
Oh,
Zeus, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, so I caught a couple little snippets. So X-Pac, Hall and Nash came out and confronted Sami Zayn and Shinsuke and who else do they got with him?
Cesaro.
Okay, and Cesaro.
The poor Sami Zayn looked like he was trying to carry that whole segment.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was struggling hard. And X-Pac had to tell Kevin Nash, stand up. I was like, Kevin Nash, he barely stood up. You know, it was just a clusterfuck. I mean, it just, I mean, even Alexa Bliss was doing the interviewing. She looked like she wasn't into it. They're like, well, X-Pac, who do I call you? X-Pac, Sean, X-Pac, 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So Hall of Famer. It was just disgusting, disturbing.
Well, okay.
I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. That whole segment looked bad. And when X-Pac has to tell Kevin Nash to stand up, you know something is up.
What was up with X-Pac's voice? It sounded weird. Like, did you hear his laugh?
That's what happens when you fucking hit the pipe for 150 years and then you quit.
Oh,
you know?
Man, his laugh was weird. It was like ho 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 ho.
Yeah.
Ho 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 ho.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Is he auditioning for Santa Claus or?
I mean, because I'm happy that he's clean and he's doing well, but I think
problems with like smoking or
yeah. I mean,
dipping.
It would have been nice to see X-Pac throw a kick to Sami Zayn because I think X-Pac can still throw a kick, But that Hall and Nash in there, just standing there like holding their crotches, going, like, is this segment over yet? And like poor Sami Zayn is struggling, because he's trying to keep the hype going, and nothing's going. Because Shinsuke doesn't understand what's going on. And Cesaro looked like he's staring through his sunglasses, and I'm like, this whole segment sucks. I mean, poor Nikki Cross was like overacting, and fucking Alexa's going, yeah, like, why am I here?
Right.
It's like this whole thing is like, it's one big clusterfuck. It was hard.
James, do you remember Nikki Cross having that awesome? Was it a last woman standing match against Asuka in NXT?
Oh yeah, that match was awesome. That match was amazing.
Do you remember the match she had versus Shayna for the title?
Yes.
In NXT.
Yes.
She's being choked out and she's like laughing.
Yeah.
Being choked out.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that girl? Where is that girl?
Where's the homicidal maniac at? Yeah, her.
Oh, and remember Remember the stuff from NXT when they were doing the mystery angle about who attacked Aleister Black, and she was like, "I know a secret. I know."
Yeah. She plays that homicidal character perfectly. And here she's a fucking sidekick to Alexa.
And she's all like a super fan or something now. Like,
she's like,
let's do selfies.
She's not. She's Robin to Alexa's Batman, and she's not even a good Robin. She's Jason Todd. It's horrible. This is horrible. This whole thing is horrible.
It's terrible. I didn't see the rest of the show.
And they're jobbing out Finn, and they're jobbing out Ricochet.
Yeah, the rumor mill is that that Vince is done trying to get Ricochet quote unquote over or something.
But he's already over, Zeus.
Dude, I know it. I've seen the crowds, but it's just not. For whatever reason,
he won't be over for much longer.
So instead of burying him, how about you send him down to NXT?
Hey,
how about get a little rub down there?
Yeah, but you know what? They're getting crowded. They're getting crowded, and they still are using it as a developmental.
True.
So I mean, they can't. There's only so many people they can send down there. On a 2-hour show once a week.
I don't even know if sitting down is the right term anymore. I think their product is better than WWE's.
Here's an idea. So you've got, Raw, you got SmackDown, you got NXT, and you got NXT UK. Why not some of these people who aren't doing so much, like a Cesaro, you send them for, 2-3 months in NXT UK?
That's an idea.
Why not? Ricochet's not popular right now with Vince. Send him. I don't know. NXT or NXT UK. Just have him do 2 or so months of tapings and
have him help out with the younger stars too. Have him in the mentor role as well.
I mean, imagine Walter versus Ricochet. Has that match ever happened?
We're about to get Walter versus Finn Balor soon.
Did you see Walter versus Dave Mastiff this week, James?
No, I got to see it. I missed it. I got to watch this week's NXT UK.
It was a good match. Not a great match, but it's a good match.
It was okay?
It was a good match, yeah.
It was a good match?
Travis Banks versus Alexander Wolf was good too.
I like Alexander Wolf. I do. I like Imperium. I do. It's good stuff. It's a good gimmick too. They could, if they do this right, they could be huge monster heels. Like huge.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of NXT stuff, what about this rumor about Jun Akiyama, All Japan Pro Wrestling, and the WWE?
She's gonna. She's gonna be at the Performance Center, right?
He's
gonna. He's gonna be at the Performance Center. He's gonna be helping out, right?
Yeah. So is Kendo Kashin. Do y'all remember him?
Oh yeah. Him and Dr. Wagner Jr. were All Japan or IWGP Junior Tag Champs.
Yeah.
And he was one of the few guys that Muta took with him to All Japan when he left.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a rumor there's a lot of trainers going to be on NXT TV this week. It's because the show is going to be fun because the actual show is going to be from the Performance
Center.
Yeah. So there's a rumor going around that June might show up on TV and a few other people might show up on TV.
If he shows up on TV, is it for certainty then that All Japan is going to be in WWE?
I don't know.
And a side note, the funniest thing about this whole rumor, there was a group of people who were marking out about it because they were like, "Oh my God, this means we're gonna get all that '90s All Japan stuff on the network."
Nope.
That's not gonna happen.
Then other people were like, "Hey, All Japan doesn't even own that stuff. It's owned by the TV network."
That's not gonna happen.
No, that's not to say that Vince couldn't buy it.
Right.
True.
But it costs more, yeah.
Right. And and who knows? I mean, I hate to be the shitty person about it, but I mean the simple thing would be to like hire away people, some key people, and then let All Japan fall apart and then take what you want that's left. Because I mean, All Japan as a name anymore is so niche. I mean, you got to be over 25 to understand anything at all about All Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
and even if you're only 20, even if you're 25, you still don't you still didn't live through the best years of it.
After the Noah thing, when everyone left to form,
everybody left. Noah,
it really was never the.
Well, the whole thing with Misawa, went bad, and everything was like brutal,
Yeah, it never was the same All Japan again. I mean, they sort of kept it up, and then I feel like when Muto took over as the president for a while, it definitely was not, the old All Japan ever again.
Well, it couldn't be. He took 95% of the rest.
Yeah, he took the whole roster.
I mean, it could not be the same again.
I mean, everything that they had built over the last, 10 years at least was gone. I mean, Noah essentially was All Japan.
Yes. I mean, and they had 2 Tokyo Dome shows of their own, or 3, however many they had.
Yeah.
They had a few.
But I mean, you took every major star except for, Hansen, who was retiring, and Kawada.
Yep.
Everybody else, they had to grow all new people on their own without the benefit of having all those veterans. I mean, Muta did the best that he could. I mean, if somebody just showed up, if somebody had gone to Sting in 2000,
oh my God,
and said, Sting, we want you to run WCW.
Oh my God.
But here's the click. Actually, it would have been like saying, look, we want you to run WWF, but Hunter took 95% of the wrestlers and went somewhere else. How fucking good do you think it would have been?
But Zeus, I'm not complaining about the job.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm saying it was not the same All Japan anymore.
But it wasn't going to be, Pedro. Half the roster left. It wasn't going to be.
That's the whole point. Like All Japan is not like the brand is not what it was.
No,
it never
it's
be.
not.
Like it's not. Those days are long gone. Like 2 decades now.
They couldn't evolve like New Japan evolved. They couldn't evolve.
Right.
Yep.
Not with everybody gone.
No.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to your point, they were saying, with the ultimate idea is that people are saying that, WWE is still looking for a foothold in Japan.
Yeah, they're going to do the NXT Japan thing. Yeah.
Right.
My understanding is they have Sendai girls. Like it's not like something that's been announced, but there's a reason Sendai girls is kind of always retreading the same water with their booking for 2 years now, and it's because they're in a holding position. They're waiting, for this thing. Mako's been regularly making trips to Florida to help train NXT people for 2 years now. So, I mean, there's already that thing there. So they've got Sendai girls. They wanted Stardom off the table, of course. Went to Bushiroad.
Yeah.
And I've heard they've been messing with Big Japan. I don't know how serious that stuff is about having Big Japan in there. But
here's my question. I mean, here's my question: how over will NXT Japan really be? The fans of Japan want that.
No, look, it's a different culture, right? We know this. It's a very different culture. They're not going to be. If you come and we're like, look, it's the WWE, but in Japan, like the WWE version of Japanese wrestling. They're not going to want that.
No.
Like if the WWE comes, they want to see the WWE stars. They want to see Roman Reigns. They want to see, Randy Orton, et cetera, et cetera. They want to see a WWE show, but they don't want. Well, how about the WWE presents to you Japanese wrestling? They don't want that.
No.
They've got their own thing. Like, it's just weird from a cultural point of view. They're not going to be into that.
I mean, I hope they don't think they're going to compete with I hope they're going to compete with New Japan. I know Vince got balls, but I don't think he's delusional. I don't know. Because I didn't think NXT UK would be big, but you know what? It's starting to get over. Because they actually have a fan base now.
Well, I mean,
it's easy to have a fan base when you ran out every other promotion that was there.
True, that's true.
There's literally nothing. There's like nothing else for people to go see except Rev Pro.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah,
Progress.
Yeah, Progress.
Fight Club Pro.
Rev Pro and the plastic belt.
Okay, stop taking the wind out of my fucking joke.
I apologize. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, hey, real quick, NXT. Any thoughts on NXT this week?
I kind of watched a little bit of it, and it was all right. I was glad to see Shane Strickland, Isaiah Swerve Scott in the ring. Because I missed the shit out of that guy, and
that was a good match. His match was pretty good against Thoreau. That was actually a good match.
The thing is, though, the shit he did in Lucha Underground is better.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all notice them reference Lucha Underground slightly on commentary?
No.
They're always referencing it.
They were referencing the scars on his back.
Oh,
he got it.
Yeah.
They said through extreme matches in another place or another company, however they work.
Even one time snuck in the kill shot phrase here and there. Too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're always referencing the LU stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like he jumped in the air and it was a kill shot. I was like, oh, look at that. But I thought the cage matches were okay. I do like the Keegan Knox stuff, and Dakota Kai stuff. It's okay. It's a good rivalry. It's good. The whole thing with Raquel Gonzalez. Okay, all right, fine, that's cool. It was a decent cage match. It was okay.
I think the street fight, was that the one on the pay-per-view on
Facebook? Yeah.
The street fight was better, but had a worse finish.
Yeah, I told you about the finishes.
I know. But the match was better, but worse finish. The cage match, the match was not as good as the street fight, but I didn't mind the finish so much because we've become accustomed to Raquel being with so.
How'd you like the main event cage match?
It was okay.
It was okay.
It's okay.
It was all right. I did not like the finish at all. I didn't like.
Yeah, him throwing out. Him throwing out Roderick Strong out the cage just to get the cold. I know why they're doing it, but it doesn't make sense. But I know why they did it, but it still doesn't make sense. I mean, to me, it's lazy booking.
Yeah, they wanted to get Dream to Cole, and they're just like, oh, let's do this. This will make it obvious.
Or just like you said, match. Then you can earn it, you know?
Well, I was just saying, like, he could just win the match outright and then point at. I mean, it would do the same thing. It's as easy as what they did. Just have him beat Roderick Strong in the match, and then sit on top of the cage and point at Adam Cole. And Adam Cole can like hold his belt and shake his head like, no, my baby, no. I mean, it's just as easy, right? Like,
holy shit! Is it? Oh, that was good. Is it me, or it's like really lazy booking? Like everybody's beating up on UE now. Undisputed Era's getting the shit kicked out of one person in the ring all at one time. And like, how weak are you going to make your champion look?
Well, they haven't made him look weak the entire run, but it's kind of time
Jesus.
for Undisputed Era to end, don't you think?
I do, but if you're going to end it, then let it go out with a bang. You know, don't do it like this, where all of a sudden you got one man beating the shit out of it. I mean, like all of Undisputed Era. I mean, come on, can't do that.
You're right.
I mean, you know, have some kind of common sense here, you know.
Oh, I thought the Johnny Gargano Morrow interview was good.
A little reminiscent of the Jim Ross Mankind.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it had that kind of feel to it. I like what they're doing with Gargano. I was against the storyline only because I wanted to see DIY get back together again and do their thing, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
and like,
we should be against it just because it's how many times have we seen them fight now?
I know. It's like 457,000 times already. They're like, how many main events are they going to do, you know? But I did like this interview. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Can I say that, you know, one of the things that I think we got to kind of, you know, kind of come to terms with is that just because somebody flips from face to a heel, you know, how many evil, mean ass fucking shitty things did Ciampa do to Gargano before?
Done.
Yeah, he fucking killed him. Yeah,
right.
You know.
Right. So the first thing is that Morrow should be, look, I don't blame you for being mad and taking your opportunity to attack Ciampa. You know, I mean that's the thing. It's like, you know, he's known for being the smart guy. You know, he's known for being the one who's supposed to, you know, be, you know, more of that, you know, more of the fan with the great voice and the intelligent mind and the guy who can pull all these old things out of the hat. And it's like, that should have been the first thing. Is like, look, there's plenty of ammunition. There's plenty of reasons for you to have done this. The only question should have been, why now? That's what it should have been about. Not why.
Right. No, yeah.
Because we damn well know why he did it, because the fucking Ciampa's been a son of a bitch to him for what, 3 fucking years or something like that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's just like Sienna playing like she's a fucking, you know, like she's innocent of Marty Bell attacking her. You know? It's like, listen, you were a terrible fucking person. You brought your friend in, you berated her. You told her she was good, but she was never going to be on your level. You told her to do her job, and you told her to shut up. And then you said, hey, don't talk out loud in front of other people. You know, like, bitch, wow. I'm done being your friend. You know, you're not my friend. A friend doesn't treat somebody like this.
I don't want to be a friend if you are even mutants.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. That was Zeus. You nailed it. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God! Hey, before we need to get into the NWA, but I want to say real fast, this thing with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. This may just be me, but I find that now I went from Rhea Ripley was so hot when she beat Shayna for the title, like in terms of crowd heat and momentum, to now I feel she's very cold. And the thing with
I'm
her,
going to say
Charlotte feels
something.
very cold.
I don't mean to interrupt, Pedro, and I'm going to say something which I hope does not happen, but I have a funny feeling that Rhea Ripley is getting forced down our throats a la Roman Reigns. She's turning into the Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about Rhea Ripley now. It's all about Rhea Ripley. All of a sudden, Rhea Ripley this. She's going to be at WrestleMania. She's training in Raymond James Stadium. She's doing this. She's in Tampa. And nobody gives a shit.
Well, I mean, it may have been, they kind of, they took a great amount of momentum, where she beat Shayna, and, instead of just kind of teasing, some things, going into the main roster, she's pretty much there now.
Yeah.
So they're
I actually watched Raw this week.
I mean, they're going all in with it, which is something you don't see a lot of, So I don't know. It might just be too much too soon.
I think the winner of all this is going to be Bianca Belair. I think she's going to rise up. I think she's going to rise up, either be NXT champ or she's going to jump to the main, she's going to jump straight to the main roster and kick everybody's ass.
If she's allowed to.
If she's allowed to, yeah. If she's allowed to.
How many people got over, and then they're like, "Well, no, it's we got to set up XYZ."
Yeah, if she's allowed to, yeah, you're absolutely right, Pedro. If she's allowed to, because she's a beast, man.
But let's talk about the actual good show we saw on TV this week.
Oh, you mean NWA Power?
Power.
Yeah, man. You got to get outlandish with it.
I want to hear James' reaction to this. James, what is your reaction to Zicky Dice being the new NWA television champion?
I like Ricky Starks, and I get it. You don't want the TV title on the person for too long. It's because you want to create excitement in the studio. I get it. So you do that by having title matches and title changes. I get that. But Zicky Dice, you gotta be shitting me. You could have gave it. You could. I mean, he's great heel, Zeus. He's a good heel. He's a good character. He's over. And even I was walking around this week going, "Don't touch my fanny pack." I was saying that shit in the middle of the street. I was in the middle of public supermarket going, "Don't touch my fanny pack." I got I got people looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay, so it's over, and I'm digging it, but I'm like, oh, not this guy. Come on, really? I don't know. I just, you know what? I'm interested to see how they do it. You know what? How they play it. But, he has the worst placement of tattoos I've ever seen in my life. The guy is just like, he's oh my God.
I think Cody Rhodes would beg to differ.
No, I mean, he's a walking advertisement for a reset button. Okay? That guy needs a reset button.
The placement, like, I don't begrudge him to have his tattoos wherever he wants. To me, it's just like that, just kind of that the way it is on his neck and the way that wing kind of almost goes up into his jawline.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like zooming in on it, and they were like, look at there's some of these lines where, the lines are bad, and some of the stars were. They were like, this is going to turn into a blob.
Yeah, I wish he put it on his back or chest or somewhere else. I don't know, just somewhere else.
I mean, even in the dead center of the back of his neck would have been better.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird, it's just kind of a weird spot.
He should have put it right on his left ass cheeks this way nobody saw it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. But Zicky Dice. Yeah, but his tattoos look like they were put on by crayon. They look brutal. They look all smudged and shit. Like his body, every time he walks in the ring, it looks like his body's out of focus.
Oh my!
Because I'm like, is that my TV or is that Ziggy Dice? You know?
Yeah, it
But
was a fun match though.
it was a fun match, and you know what? It was a fun match. It was a couple of oops in there. You know, there was a couple of oops. You know.
I was surprised Ricky Starks lost the belt so soon, but like you said, yeah, it makes sense to have something that would be, you know, kind of like anything can happen.
You know. But you know, let's see how he does with it. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, he needs to change his tights and. I don't know.
He had the
fucking hair
again.
Yeah, that fucking hair.
Again.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that brown shit stain he has? Oh, yeah, it's his tights. And I'm like, really? This guy's like oh my God. I told you, he's a walking advertisement for a reset button. Up, do over, reset.
But he's got so much charisma. And
He does. And you know what? I told you, I was in the middle of the supermarket this week, and I yelled out, don't touch my fanny pack. People looked at me like I was trying to steal something. You know, the people are crazy. You know, he's got me saying shit like that. So he's over. I'd rather watch him than fucking Gumby. So there you go.
Oh, what about that tag title match?
I didn't know. Hold on. Before we get to the title match,
Storm and Drake against
the Bouncers.
The Bouncers. Yeah.
Yeah, but even before that, hold on, Zeus. Even before that, I don't like the fact that the Dawsons lost a loser league contract.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that.
That means they'll be brought back with someone else.
Yeah, I know. They should bring him under the hood. Do like the Midnight Rider. Everybody knows it's the Dawson, but he said no, it's not. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to see them hold the titles.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is they might still get like entered into the Crockett Cup, and have to, it's like, well, you gotta win to stay in or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So could be a lot of different things. And then of course that match was very significant because you had the current AML heavyweight champion C.W. Anderson and two former AML heavyweight champions in Caleb Conley and Zane Dawson all in that one match.
Yep. I enjoyed the match. It was a good match, and I love C.W. Anderson, so I want him to stay. So that was a no-brainer in my book. And I like Caleb Conley, but I don't want I want the Dawsons to run roughshod in the NWA. I want them to be the monster heels that beat the shit out of everybody. But but it's not being booked as such. Oh well. Yeah, but that tag team title match was all right. The Bouncers, all right. Okay.
The Bouncers are pretty good for guys their size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can move.
And Eli Drake and he's great at bouncing off of people, and he's the two of them are very good in the ring. I'd love to see them have some more time to gel together too.
Mm-hmm. Now, then next week we get a special edition, right? It's a 2-hour show, I think, or like a 90-minute show or something like that.
I can't remember if they said that or not. I believe you, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a special edition because they're gonna have Villain Enterprises they're gonna wrestle.
Right.
Unless I read that wrong. I don't know.
I believe because I could have. Right.
Yeah, because I could have sworn it said Villain Enterprises.
Right.
Yeah. And it's official now. It's official. Lakeland, Florida.
What?
PCO versus Nick Aldis for the NWA World Title.
Oh, it's official?
Yes.
It's official.
Oh,
you get to see Aldis defend the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against PCO.
I want to see PCO staple that shit to fucking Aldis' neck.
Oh, my God.
I love PCO. He's awesome in person, man. He's awesome in person.
He is.
That guy
a
is
super nice person.
Yeah, man. And he's insane. I told you he put fucking Scroll, his old tag team partner, through the table. Like, what are you doing? He was putting everybody through all the tables. Then he threw his tag team partner, and he threw his up on his hands in the air with sorry. That was awesome, man. You know, the crowd pop for that. You know, he's insane. I love that. I love that. So that Lakeland show is going to be sick, man. That's going to be a good show.
It is. It really is. I'm kicking myself for not trying to clear time and come down there.
Oh man, that would have been awesome, Zeus.
Yeah, we'll figure something out though.
Yeah.
Because it'd probably be easier for me to go down there than it is you come up here.
No, because I got all the time in the world, so it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I want to go to AML show. Plus, I need a little redemption from the whole WrestleCade debacle, you know. Because I still want my churro, I still want my ice cream.
That's right.
I still want to talk shit to George South. That's right. So,
need some paletas.
Yeah, I want to buy some George South water. You know.
That's right. Get some of his bootleg child lucha masks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like, look, I brought your water, bitch.
George's got to always make gas money just from selling 3 or 4 of those kids masks. Every show I see 3 or 4 of those kids. 3 or 4 kids got, it's like.
Do they actually sell?
Yeah. The kids buy them. I mean, they don't fit adults, or I'd have bought one already.
Yeah. I just would have brought one.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's got terrible. The terrible. Who's the guy that the luchador with the cat fangs in the mask underneath on the nose line? He's not a Blue Panther, but it's a.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know him when I see him. He's one of the. He's slightly more obscure. He's got that, and he's got like an old Phoenix type of mask, and then there's a shitty Pentagon one, and I mean they're terrible. They're terrible, but I mean,
that's cool. I buy one just to buy it. Fucking, you know what? It's from George South, But yeah, I think.
Oh, is it
I think that Lake.
Was it Felino's mask or?
Yeah, I think so. He's got like two little canines,
like around the side of on the mask. It's like kind of around the side of the mouth, or.
Yeah, it's like on that nose line,
Does it have fur on the side, like sideburns?
No.
Oh, then it's not Felino. Never mind.
Well, George South is just too cheap to do a sideburn. But I definitely want to go to AML, especially if we can get front row chicks,
Yeah.
Because that'd be hot. I want to do that. Sit in the front row, big world class style. But that's awesome.
Well,
now,
I mean,
I want someone to bring the rope back.
They do have a retaining barrier.
I want someone to bring the rope back.
Yeah, bring back the rope.
Bring back the kite string.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all they had in Sportatorium.
Yeah. Oh, but anybody excited for Elimination Chamber tomorrow? I'm not.
No, not really. I mean, that's the shame. The shame of it all is that the WWE has got so many great wrestlers, so many good wrestlers, so many people. It's just and so much money and great production values, but they just don't write a story worth a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The only match I'm interested in watching from the Elimination Chamber is the women's match because everybody's expecting Shayna Baszler to go over.
I heard that Vince is now down on Shayna because the match against Kyrie on Monday didn't go well or something. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I saw that match. I think Vince is getting a little too jumpy in his old age. He's not letting things,
play out.
He wants instant results, and it's not happening like that. You have to let things grow. You got to water it. Add a little vitamins, add a little sunshine, add a little water. You got to nurture it. You got to show a little love. And he wants instant results. And it's not happening. Just look at the XFL. So that's tanking too now. You see, so like nothing. It's he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it.
Anyone got anything to plug or anything?
I mean, got the next AML show coming up March 28th. Of course, we'll be talking about that more forward, and then there is the discount time to get the next NWA pay-per-view has started from Fight TV. So
right, that's right.
Right now,
Zeus, good job.
Like right now through, right before the pay-per-view is they're running a discount. So
cool.
And also a shout out to Andy for letting us know that the show's coming back on.
Oh yeah, the Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh yeah,
man. If you're looking out, Angie. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I hear Jericho's narrating part of that stuff about Benoit.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that should be good. Oh, I got something to plug, Pedro.
Okay.
I'll be at a because I'll be at all your local supermarkets. Cause I'll be signing fanny packs. So like if I show up with a fanny pack, I'll sign it. It's all good.
I have on Monday. I put out a new album. It's called of original songs. It's called Simple Songs. You can find it on my Patreon, which is Texanspaniard Studios. www.patreon.com, Texanspaniard Studios, and you can grab all the MP3s for free. It's completely for free. You can grab them off there. You can also listen to the entire album as one video off YouTube. So
cool.
Check out a Simple Song. I was singing you a song right now, but it's time to go.
Check out the vocal stylings of Pedro Boyd.
Right, hit up to Patreon. $1 a month, you can support Pedro. And then, check out our friend Bean. Bean has a Ko-fi. We should put his link in the description.
It's ko/fi.com/cross and bean.
Cross and bean.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the return of some. I'm just waiting for the return of some global wrestling action, Pedro.
Global wrestling action, like from Texas.
No, from you.
Yeah, global pro fight.
Yeah, that's a little bit of hiatus at the moment, but
come on, man! I'm trying to plug your shit over here. Come on, wake up,
buddy. But I do have there is a episode 4 of the 1992 Watch and Rank project that's out there.
All right.
Yeah.
You can. There's been 2. Like episode 3 had a new number 1, and now episode 4 has another new number 1 on the official list. So we can see how that's going. But
and as always, I'll mark out Mania. No 6-star matches. There you go.
Yes. No such thing.
Right.
Sci-fi, science fiction. I want to thank YYH for
YYH too.
That room. Again, happy birthday to the Angelico Queen Club. And thanks to everyone listening. And we will catch y'all next week, hopefully, God willing. And adios.
Peace.
Yo.